want to tell you how many nurses are in this province. I think it's important to know that ARNET is a charity for registered nurses, and nurse practitioners are also registered nurses, by the way. Just to give you a breakdown on the numbers, 39,000 registered nurses in the province of Alberta, over 600 nurse practitioners. They're almost at, I talked with Joy Peacock, the CEO of College of Registered Nurses of Alberta, and we're close to 40,000 registered this year, so it's even a little bit higher than the slide. ARNET's focus really is on our strong belief that better educated nurses means better health care for Albertans. Thank you. We know it makes a difference, and if you haven't been touched by a nurse in your lifetime, I know that you will be. They may be your neighbors. They will be with you at the most wonderful moments of your life, the birth of a child, and they will be with you at the most difficult moments of your life, the death of a loved one. So at some point, we will all be touched by a nurse. So in 2022, we gave out $1.4 million. I have to say that. The most we've ever given out as ARNET, our charity, since we existed in 1985. To registered nurses in this province. So the money has gone to over $1.2 million for educational grant funding, over $90,000 in scholarship funding, and over $90,000 in research grants. And today you're going to hear about those research grants. And I think our very first year giving out research grant money, it's been a phenomenal year. We have some wonderful projects I'm so proud of. Sometimes people say, well, why do I need to support ARNET? Why do I need to help nurses get more education? Well, the story of a nurse is a long journey. They graduate from nursing in their early 20s. They start working. They often have student loans. They go into relationships, partnerships, perhaps get married, have children, have loans, mortgages, and then they decide to return to school to advance their education. We know they need to do that because technology is changing, healthcare is changing so fast. Some of them choose to go back to become nurse practitioners. That's a master's degree and incredibly expensive education. Others choose to move to specialty areas. They maybe take advanced cardiac life support, maybe take pediatric advanced life support. Specialized training to work in those areas is an ongoing process. Employers don't have capacity now more than ever to support that. They also don't even have capacity to give staff paid time off. So what does ARNET do? We step in and we help with that. We don't fully fund education, but we support and help. And the most powerful things we get back are thank you notes from our nurses saying, it made such a difference. So I encourage you to look at our website if you haven't. We have some lovely thank you notes from nurses that show, I think, really clearly the impact. This is just one. So twice now, you have kept my dream alive. On those two occasions, I had contemplated quitting my program because of financial constraints, but you rescued me and kept me going. Thank you to everyone that made that funding possible. Hopefully, I can give back one day to keep someone else's dream alive. We had a donation recently for $1,542, and it was almost like 22 cents. And I looked at it and I realized it was a colleague of mine from many years ago, and he said, I'm retired now. This is exactly the amount of money ARNET gave me 20 years ago, and I'm giving it back. And I loved it. I thought that was wonderful. That's what we really encourage. We are strongly a charity of nurses supporting nurses. We are looking today to advance our organization by building partnerships outside of that with other kinds of businesses and organizations, other foundations that are also in the room today. We're hoping that today we can start those relationships and some other relationships.